Democratic or Republican idea.
These are not Democrat ideas or Republican ideas.
This is an American idea.
These are fundamentally American ideals.
Imagine they were driving a car and they drove it into the ditch.
If somebody has repeatedly crashed your car,
you can't have the keys back.
Do you want to turn over the keys to the same people who crashed?
A skinny guy with a funny name.
Who the heck is this skinny guy with a funny last?
Whoa, my boy, kill that silent action. I never called the cops over here. But about that, you caught a red-handed man. Play the team. Speaking of the funky-ass pigs, today's episode, we're going to talk about a topic that, quite honestly, I don't really find all that funny. It's police brutality. Typically, in this show you expect us, we'll talk about police brutality against black folks. And we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to keep it 100. But it's happening everywhere to everybody. It's out of hand across the country. Check out some of these clips. Completely unconscious woman. Takes 2 cops. That makes sense. She asked for cheese on her burger, and the cop was like, I'm gonna give you cheese, I'm gonna give you 3 slices. Pow, pow, pow. How LeBron James' hometown doing?
The Akron, Ohio police beat and nearly suffocated this man over expired vehicle tags.
Hey, y'all need to chill. Y'all need to... Bro,
This motherfucker had the nerve to ask somebody else for directions. I gave you directions once, ain't that enough?
This man was awarded $10 million after he was beaten by a cop for asking about directions.
Hey, what are you doing, man?
I'm just looking for my way back to the church. You trying to get a directions to Eastern Middle?
I told you where it was at about 2 minutes ago.
That was you?
Yeah, well, who the fuck was it?
I'm sorry, I know you're the cop.
I told you where it was at, right?
Yeah.
So why are you in here asking the same thing?
I'm not for sure where I'm going.
I told you where to go.
Luther Gonzalez Hall got lost while riding his bike home from a friend's house and asked a police officer for directions. He went inside a diner and asked the employees if he was given the correct guidance, but the cop didn't like that.
I'm not, yeah.
So why are you in here?
I was just making sure.
Making sure I told you the right thing?
The cop persisted and eventually tackled him outside.
Oh, okay. What did I do?
Shoplifting. We will beat your ass.
turn around on your face. It's the police department who told you.
Now here to set fire to some pigs, the homies Jeff Hall and Robert Hines. Guys,
here's a story we haven't reported on before. The police killing black dudes.
The essence of the problem of policing are 2 different doctrines. The first doctrine is the English police doctrine. And that doctrine states the notion of policing by consent. That means that police are citizens in uniform, and their primary purpose and loyalty should be to the citizenry and not the state. And that violence should be the last resort.
Remind me again why law enforcement was made to catch slaves?
The second and more familiar doctrine to black people particularly are the Barbados slave codes. They were brutal and designed to keep black people, slaves, in check. No consideration of your person or your humanity at all. The slave codes started in 1661 and supposedly ended in 1667.
Thanks, Rob. That slave code shit sound familiar.
A family is seeking answers after Jacksonville sheriffs brutally assaulted 24-year-old LaKeon Wood. But the family said that he was attacked by officers after he was pulled over and placed under arrest. He was resisting without violence. That's what they said. But basically, the footage shows the arrest that shows an officer kicking him in the face while his hands are handcuffed behind his back.
Or maybe like this.
If you haven't heard already, Stephen Clay Perkins was unalived by the Decatur Police Department wrongfully.
The police in Decatur, Alabama shot a father of 2 for his truck at his own home, and the amount of effort that the local media is using to lie about this shit to cover it up is it's amazing to me. The security camera from Stephen Perkins. How much you want to bet if I zoom this in, not only do we find out is he unarmed with just a flashlight, but he has his hands raised. To stay within CG guidelines, I'm going to stop this video right before Stephen gets dropped by 7 of the 13 bullets fired by 3 different officers, 2 of which were hiding in the dark, by the way. But other than the fact that he has his hands up the entire time, armed with only a flashlight, you should also know that his car was not delinquent.
For anyone who has a rebuttal like, if they only complied or just listened to the officers, fuck you. I have so many responses to that. We don't have time for it in the video. But I can shortly say, I can show you a multitude of nationwide coverage of people innocent of any crime, complying with the officer, simply asking for either a lawyer, an explanation, what's going on, and the entire time the officers are basically not responsive. They are determined to do damage, to hurt somebody. What innocent citizen wants to be questioned, harassed, detained? What person, under any circumstances, wants to feel that way? Everyone understands that the police have a difficult job. But number 1, you volunteer for that job. Number 2, you have all the weapons and body armor and everything else to protect you. When you're dealing with a citizen who has none of that, understand there may be some apprehension, especially from a marginalized community that sees videos like this happening nationwide and no repercussions.
Don't resist. Don't resist. Don't resist. Don't resist, bro. I'm not. Don't resist, bro. I got it on camera, bro.
In the wake of the George Floyd murder, there was hope, even optimism that there might be change. In fact, I remember during quarantine driving through an 8.5 by 11 type neighborhood and seeing 3 young white girls holding honk for Black Lives Matter and we support Black Lives Matter signs. I was so moved, I actually almost forgot the honk. Imagine that. I was probably the only car and definitely the only black person they saw drive through their neighborhood. If I didn't honk, they'd have lost faith in everything. Despite our best hopes, not only has police brutality continued, it almost seems like it's escalated. And it's not getting the same coverage as it was before because the media has moved on to Ukraine, hurricanes, election coverage, and everything. That's all we have for today. Not a super funny topic, but it's something we wanted to cover. Hope you dig the new studio. We as a community must stay vigilant. It has to be part of the 2024 campaign. Yeah, Biden's got to bring prices down, but he also got to stop these damn cops. Thank you for watching What Had Happened News. Like us, subscribe, share, tell a friend, give us a heart, give us a star, give us all the things that help make this work. You know how this works.